All right, Dad, here's your tutorial on how to do an air fryer dinner. All right, so here's our ingredients. We got some peppers. Unfortunately, I only have yellow peppers, some baby red potatoes, and some carrots. And then I got fish defrosting in the sink. So, time to chop this stuff up. Carrots, potatoes, pretty simple. Chop them up. Carrots will go flying. Anyways, chop them up nice and thin. Same thing with the potatoes. I like to cut them in half, and then slice them into little triangles. Same thing here. Cut it in half. Just chop it up. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it small enough that it's going to cook. So get all that. And basically you put all that into a bowl, and then we're going to do the seasoning and everything in that bowl, but I'm going to finish chopping up all of that stuff. You probably need to know how to cut up the pepper, so let me show you that. Okay, you can start by cutting the end of this pepper off. Just like that. And then you got the seeds in the middle there. Just take the knife, go around, and then you pop the seeds out like that. Try and get as many of them as you can out. Doesn't really matter, you don't taste them. Then I cut the pepper in half. And then just slice it up. Same thing on this side. And that's how you cut up the peppers. All right, we got vegetables, potatoes, chopped up, put in a bowl. We got our fish, pretty much defrosted. We're gonna cut this up into basic cubes, pretty simple. So, I'm just gonna cut it in half. And actually, I'll probably go ahead and cut this into quarters. Super easy. And then chop it into chunks. Now you just take all that and throw it in the bowl with all of the potatoes and vegetables. So ultimately, you got that. And next we're gonna season all of it. All right, so here's what I'm gonna be seasoning my stuff with. And this is kind of a hodgepodge, but olive oil, pepper, oregano, onion, basil, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, thyme. This is a poultry seasoning that the label came off of. coarse sea salt. I think I said olive oil already. And oh yeah, by the way, these are the mini sweet peppers, red, orange, yellow. Oh, and last but not least, I'm also gonna do Italian breadcrumbs. So basically, we're gonna add some olive oil. And I just do this, pour a little bit out and kind of do a swirl. And then from there, you basically just start adding the seasoning. And I just shake it on there to coat it. So here's Italian seasoning. Well, just kind of get a good coating on there. Nothing too much. And then I just work down the line. There's some sea salt. You know, don't need a ton of salt, but definitely want salt for flavor. Onion, again, flavor. Just kind of give it a good once over there. Garlic, same thing. Yeah. Shake it around. I really like basil. You don't have to buy the organic stuff, but all right, and then I go ahead and stir all that up just to get the seasoning and the olive oil all sort of coated. And then once it's all stirred up, I go ahead and, oh, I forgot pepper. I forgot a couple of seasonings here. Pepper, thyme. I just grab whatever I have. Whoop, too much. In the pantry. We already did Italian seasoning, but we'll do some oregano, why not? This is kind of my Italian hodgepodge dinner. So now we got all that mixed up. Now we sprinkle in a layer of breadcrumbs. And then we stir and repeat. So stir it up again. Get it all nice and mixed up. And then we add another layer of breadcrumbs. All right, now we're gonna go from there to cooking it. So my air fryer is the basket type. So that's what mine looks like. We are literally going to throw this in there. Yep, good to go. I'm gonna dump it. Sorry for my camera angles here. So dump it, kind of shake it around. I guess you would basically do the same thing in your basket. And then I put it in. And the way I do mine is I just set it to air fry 400 degrees. And I think it goes for 20 minutes off the bat. Yeah, 20 minutes, and then I hit start. And I'll check this in about 10 minutes. And when I do that, I'll pause it, pull it out, shake it around. Sometimes I'll even take a spoon or a fork or a knife, and I'll just kind of stir it around just to see how everything's cooking. So let me cook this for 10 minutes or so, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit less, but I can smell that it's starting to cook, so we're gonna check it. So I don't know how you're gonna pause it on yours. You're probably just gonna open it up and pull the tray out, but I'm basically, Oh yeah, so you can tell it's definitely starting to cook now. So I'm just gonna give it a stir, just move everything around, basically make sure everything's cooking as evenly as possible, and kind of spread it out. You know, you'd spread it out across the basket. Maybe just give it a shake. I don't know how you're gonna do that with your basket, but put it back in and away we go. Now you'll obviously have to stop and pull yours out a little bit different, but that's the gist of checking it, you know, about 8 minutes in or so. Going from there. All right, so this has been another 6 minutes. Definitely getting cooked a little bit more. So I'm gonna give it one last sort of shake and stir, just get all that stuff tossed around in there, and then throw it back in there. So we're now 14 minutes in to a 20-minute cook at 400 degrees. So obviously you have to keep an eye on it, but that's where we're at. All right, so we went another 3 minutes and it is definitely done now. You can see everything's crisp and cooked and seasoned and breadcrumbed, and pretty simple. Pour it out and enjoy. That's how you make an air fryer meal with veggies, potatoes, and a meat.